All right, all right, all right, all right. Hello, guys and gals. Hello, you wonderful people. How are you doing today? Turn it up. Turn it up. You guys are all so great, man. Who are you stopping by checking out the content? That is so wonderful. You know, I love that. You. Let's go. I gotta work on streaming again. Back at it for a little bit. Try to put up some content for you guys and gals while I'm in the middle of grinding code for days and days and days and weeks and months and months and months and days and weeks and years and hours and hours and hours. Literally not capping. Wake up, make coffee, tea actually, turn on computer, get it running, check out social media, toxic, run away from that. Open up Visual Studio. Hey, look at this. This is way more fun and exciting. All right, guys and gals, I was streaming earlier, and I'm doing this again because I had some technical difficulties. Oh, joy! Wasn't so bad, I guess, but I had to figure it out. I had to end the stream, unfortunately. Do apologize, viewers, whoever you were watching the content. Technical difficulties. Yeah, I had to deal with it instead of, it could, I don't know how long it would have taken me to figure it out. So, short of, wasting your life and all your time, yeah, I just had to figure it out and do it all over again. And I figured it out. All using my own very own brain molecules. Who would have thunk it? It's crazy. What's up? What? Oh, no wonder why. Okay, gotta turn up the volume on that and that. I do turn down the background music so it's not too loud for you guys and gals. Again, do bear with me. Trying to get my streaming legs back, if you can call it that. It actually sounds perfect, to be honest. That's better. Fixing little things up. Not too bad. So, earlier... So what we're doing, guys, okay, I'm going to try to make this short because I tend to go on and on and on, and I have so many thoughts, and I want to share all the thoughts, and I want to try to help you guys out because you're the future. The future. The future. I do that because it's fun. So yeah, here to help, hopefully. Again, it's gonna be, it's lengthy, not super lengthy, but if you're looking for, a short video, you definitely, keep searching. Okay, so what we're doing is I'm gonna try to recap everything I talked about as much as best to my ability to recalling the information out of my mind. So we're kind of doing a funsies, how to create a character. We're essentially gonna get a character and be able to move a character. Again, this is a 2D top down type. It's not a platformer, but I'm just gonna call it an RPG type game. Maybe that's something you're interested in. You want to kind of create and build. Hopefully this will help. Now, quickly, I want to check the stream. Just to make sure we're good. Interested in. Perfect. Awesome sauceum. Nice. Okay. Back on track. So that's what we're going to do now. To explain, I'm going to do it using... So my IDE is Integrated Development Environment, which is basically software for, doing coding and creating. Okay? That software is... Now, I'll just do this just to give you an idea. So one IDE, for example, I use Visual Studio. There are others out there. I'm trying to think off the top of my head the other ones. I don't know why I can't think of them. JetBrains, there's one, and Code Blocks. Okay, that's another. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about those ones, right? You choose whichever IDE you want to use. You can still code, in any one of them. Obviously, Microsoft Visual Studio has, I think more support and such. I could be wrong, but I'll just leave it at that. Continuing on, I'm using Microsoft Visual Studio. There is 2026 out now. Now, what I've learned in my research today is, so I have 2022. Okay, let's see, this is 2026. I want to see if I can find, let me just go like this. I thought I searched the 2022 download. Interesting. Let's see. Do they still offer it? I don't know. I don't want to waste a lot of time kind of looking, but they do have 2026 out. If you have 2022 on your PC or system, you'll be okay installing 2026. Apparently, you can have both of them. Okay, you can open your old 2022 projects in the newer Studio 2026, but the thing that you need to be aware of, and this is what I'm noticing just from people chatting, the world, the coding people talking, if you convert, I don't know, there's a conversion process you could do. You can upgrade or whatever it is, your older programs that you created. You can do that to the newer 2026 version, but be aware you cannot go backwards. That makes sense? So once you convert it forwards, you can't go backwards. Okay? I haven't done it myself, but I'm just kind of giving you that heads up. You can open your projects in 2026, apparently. Probably without doing all that converting or whatever. Anyways. So do that. What I searched was Microsoft Visual Studio 2022 download. If you want to be current, get 2026, and you're looking for the community version. Okay. Professional is obviously free, but you guys got to realize they're kind enough to allow us, the community, to utilize and use this software. As far as I'm concerned, it's $10,000 software all day. I could be wrong, but it's very kind of them to allow us to be able to use this software. It takes a lot to build a program, guys. It really does. If you have teams, it'll go a lot faster. If you're doing it yourself, well, you're looking at a decade. I'm kind of serious about that. Just to become a decent coder, you need 4 years minimum. That's what I feel. Okay, you got to do a lot of grinding, code grinding. Okay, you got to get away from all that having your hand held, and you just got to do it. Grind code, figure it out, break things, figure things out, debug your own code, all that sort of goodness. It's fun. Once you get good at that, then you can use EI for help. EI? What the heck? EI? What is that? I meant AI. The reason being is once you understand, and I call it being able to think like a computer. Because essentially you do end up kind of being like that. You have to learn how to think like a computer. And I know it's crazy to say, but only those that grind code would understand. So, where was I going? Oh my god, this train is all over the place. Too bad I don't have a set of tracks to keep me on track. So we are doing a redo, and I'm trying to recap here. All right, so there's that. Free download. Okay, again, free software. It's amazing. Okay, thank you, Microsoft. I love learning. So, now, we're talking about RPG kind of games. Maybe you're into gaming, you're a gamer. Most likely you are. You know, I'm old school gamer too. I stopped gaming because, of the cheaters. So I focused all my time on coding. I felt that was more important. And wanted to make my own game and do that sort of stuff, right? Check on the old bucket list. Okay. So what's next? So there's that. Get yourself an IDE. Again, it's supported. There's GitHub information and everything that you can get. All that goodness. What is next? So yes, so getting into it, we'll talk a little bit about why I'm choosing to use Winforms. Well, part of that is because I hope you guys don't mind listening a little bit. It's a little bit kind of background supportive information. Winforms, to me, well, it's kind of the quickest, most simplest way to show and to be able to display something to you guys and gals, right? Because who has 10 hours to, watch and listen and, someone do like OpenGL stuff and all that, Anyways, not to go on a tangent, but it's quicker, it's simpler. I like the Winforms platform or framework, .NET framework, because I strongly feel that it's very robust, it's solid, it's supported, it's had lots of support, and to me, I just feel it's robust, it's solid, and it doesn't break as easily. It's harder to break, okay? It really is. So just to give you a heads up, we're going to be using the .NET 4.8.1 framework, which I still like. Now, again, it's quicker, it's simpler, we can grind out some code, we can make the magic happen and get some visual stuff going on the screen quicker and quickly, right? Because with the other, I guess, would you call them frameworks? I don't know. With the other platforms, I guess, if you will, whatever terminology. So Winforms being something that you can utilize to create a program or a game, okay? Then you have WPF, which is Windows Presentation Foundation, I think. I hope I don't mess that up. And then you have UWP, Universal Windows Platform or whatever. And then there's also some newer stuff too, which I I was interested in doing. I'm like thinking, well, maybe I'll get back into doing that again. So what you have to do is you have to end up learning another kind of coding language, and it's called XAML. XAML or XML, whatever, right? And it's not too bad to learn. It has kind of it's kind of like a hierarchy organization type way of doing things, and you also have to kind of group. It's kind of grouped in its own like beginning and end, if you will. So the point being is, I have done WPF. I didn't mind it, but when you spend hours and hours creating, which I didn't mind doing, I was actually enjoying it, grinding XAML code. But after 4 hours or whatever, eventually the program just broke because I don't know. There's some issue of sorts. I'll bring up my YouTube channel quickly. Let's see. Hang on. And let me explain. Okay. Again, guys and gals, those of you that are still on Twitch and YouTube and supporting the channel, or myself in general, I do this Twitch stuff because I could, to kind of keep that going, to at least show the support and the love and the care and stuff on the Twitch side, and then I upload the videos to my YouTube channel. The reason I do that is for longevity, so that I still maintain the videos, because I'm still a nobody. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Regardless, I want to be able to save those videos, and they're only good for a couple of weeks on Twitch. That's okay. All right, so back to my Bologna&Weiners on YouTube. Okay, this is the channel. All right, because sharing is caring. Now, I want to see if I can find that video just to give you an idea as to what I came across when I was working with WPF. Again, to be clear, and I should have something in the background here for you guys to kind of look at, stare at. I do apologize. Maybe something moving or animating. But I'll try to figure out something for the future. For the future. Okay, let me go quickly to my playlist here. Again, guys and gals, these are the things you're gonna need to learn. C#. And C# language is it's good. It's great to learn. It's fun and it's great. To me, I consider it a real language. Okay, I learned C++ first, and my logic and mindset is, if you learn C++ first, any other language you learn is going to be basically gravy on your potatoes. Trust, and every other language is easy, super easy to learn after learning C++. Okay, just gotta trust. What are you doing, kids? Why are you chuckling like that? That wasn't funny. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that out there. So C#. Again, you could create games on Unity if you wanted to. There are other ones. I can't think of the other ones off the top of my head, but Unity is an engine that I use to create 2D games and 3D games. It's fun to play with and work with as well. Again, if you upgrade and you've already done that, you lose your old projects, which it's a bit of a hard. It's tough, because I had a lot of projects in Unity and I feel like I lost them all. I still have them, I just can't open them. So it looks like I kind of need to modernize and I don't know. Anyways, I don't know if I'm going to go back to Unity, but unfortunately, I kind of lost my older projects and I can't even go over them anymore. Or even to open them, because there was one I was doing shipment and I needed to continue that, and yeah. So, anyways, not to go on a tangent. Back to Winforms. Okay, WPF.
Fabrice.
No, none of that. So what I was getting was a how to fix OBJ, so object folder, debug to bin, debug WPF. What was it called again? Let me see if I can find it. Something to that effect, and an error you would get. OBJ debug application name.exe to bin, you would get locked out of it, right? And you could go into, I was trying to figure it out, see if I could actually figure it out and fix the problem or help fix the problem. And I had 3 or 4 videos of trying to fix the problem. The videos are still there on the channel too. So I gave up because, again, I want to be able to run my programs and see the work that I did, right? So I don't know, I couldn't figure it out, so I just kind of said whatever, and I moved on, right? That's fine. So be aware of that, WPF, UWP, maybe they fixed it, but I mean, this error that they've been having has been going on for like years. So I don't know if it's fixed because I haven't done any of it lately, so I can't even formulate an opinion on that. So just do be aware, that's all. Winforms, to me, is robust. It's solid. I've never had this lockout issue error before or ever. So this is why I continue with Winforms. .NET Framework 4.8.1. That's my reasoning behind it. Okay. So we've talked about that, Visual Studio, and let us, I guess, continue. Cleaning up some stuff here a little bit. Let's create a project, okay, guys? And so again, that's the point. Why, main reason why I'm going to be creating a project on Winforms. Well, to save time, it's quicker, it's faster, and I could show you some code and such a lot quicker. Okay, or even just some movement on a screen, all right, if you will, versus all the other stuff that you have to do. Like XAML takes a bit of time because you're actually creating the designer. Winforms is super easy, it's simplistic, everything's already done for you, drag and drop, right? You just got to do the code. Now, again, if you haven't, I do have C++. I have a lot on my mind, and I want to kind of get it out to you guys. So that's why I'm maybe speaking quickly here. Okay, I do have C++ videos on my YouTube channel if you want to learn. Okay, most of it's helpf# but there are other channels you could learn from. That's fine and dandy. I don't have any C# videos, so I'm gonna recommend to you a C# tutorial.
Hey, I'm Katie.
No, that's nice. That's nice, Katie. Great for you. I don't want to get all cringe because commercials just drive me crazy. Okay, here we go. Okay. I found it. Well, actually, I already got it all set up, so I didn't waste your time. Okay, this guy here, he's great for, well, I think he had his own channel and he was doing it, and then Free Code Camp kind of went, hey, this guy's awesome. Let's put together a compilation video. And anyways, Giraffe Academy. Okay, his name's Mike. He's awesome. Super easy to learn from, super nice guy. And again, this is quite a few years old. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Coding is coding, guys. You need to learn. You need to get that foundation, right? You need to understand all the data types and memory and all the goodness that is involved with coding, okay?
Hey, welcome to Giraffe Academy. My name is Mike. In this course, I'm going to teach you guys everything you need to know to get started using C#. Now, C# is an extremely powerful programming language, and it's used in millions of applications around the world. There are literally thousands of things you can do with C#, and there's tons of different applications for this language. It's extremely powerful, and I'm excited to be bringing you guys a course that will teach you everything you need to know to get started. So we're going to start the course with the basics. We're going to install C#. We're going to install a text editor called Visual Studio. We're going to get everything set up, and we'll start writing our first.
There you go, guys. Okay, there you have it. So I mean, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do, subscribe and all that to free code. I don't know if Mike has his own channel. I can't recall. Giraffe Academy. Anyways, this is put together. Guys, find some time, find some space. I believe in all of you. If you want to learn coding, highly recommend. You know, if this is kind of your vision, your dream, do it. But do be aware, right? There's a couple of choices in life. If you want to be, there's two things you could do. Do you want to be an independent developer or do you want to work for a company? Okay, so I want to be clear about some things. Now, applying for companies, you pretty much need to know Java, C++, C Sharp, this and that, SQL, and this and that, and that. Like your resume is going to be literally probably as tall as a 40-story building just to get that intern job. So you literally need 10 years of experience just to get in. That's how challenging and difficult it is. So I'm not trying to deter you or frustrate you. I want you to have that understanding. Like they expect a lot of people. They expect you to have an understanding of many various languages and to be able to code in any language and what else not. Okay, just to be clear. Now, if you want to be an independent developer and create your own programs and such, you have options of which engine you want to use. Maybe if you get it really good at coding, you could build your own engine. But anyways, I wouldn't worry about that for a long time. But Unity is one example. There's another one, gaming engines. Okay, they're free to use. Let's see. List of gaming engines. I'm trying to think of what there is out there. Okay, now I want to be clear. I'm doing this on Visual Studio Winforms. I'm not like, hey guys, build yourself an RPG game on Winforms. Okay, I'm just trying to give you something that kind of get you excited, learn from. You could do this and you can learn and grind some code and make some magic happen. Okay, here we go. We have, of course, Unreal Engine, Unity, and Godot. Okay, again, I don't remember the other ones because, well, I don't use them, right? That all takes time. Everything you have to put in the time to learn stuff, right? And my way of thinking is, if you could learn one software, you can learn many other types of software. It's no different than two different bicycles. You could ride any one of them, right? Okay, again, Unreal Engine, Unity, so you have those options. Also, you're going to want to learn how to do digital art or pixel art. Here's my recommendation for software, free software that's out there. Highly recommend it. Again, you're supporting independent developers by using this software. Okay, guys? You're supporting, indie developers. They create this software to help, the little guy. Okay? Always support the little guy. Forget the guys that are already doing well. Support the little guy. Okay? And hopefully they do the same thing for you because, when you're starting out, you're going to be the little guy too. Okay, so there's different sizes of learn a little bit about the history of maybe Nintendo and Super Nintendo. What size pixels did they use for their characters? Learn 8x8 pixel art, 16-bit pixel or 16 pickle 16 pickles, guys. It's almost like a tongue twister to say all that. 16-bit, 32-bit, and so on. I do have a list of somewhere I have. Let's see if I could maybe quickly find that. I'll try to. Let's see. Maybe I have. I don't know if it's that. Let's see. Where else was that? I kind of did some snipping tools of the different sizes of characters. Let's see. I'm kind of organized somewhat, like I'm in the right folder area. It's just a matter of finding it. Many folders. Okay, so I'm giving you the heads up in regards to what you're gonna kind of need to learn and to do. And I could actually show you some quick tips and tricks. There's a lot of, if you're not a digital artist, guys and gals, there are digital artists out there. You can buy some of their stuff, their content. Itch.io, and this is so okay. Anyways, I'm fine. I just thought I was hitting something. Anyways, carrying on. Yeah, itch.io and many others. You could do that. There's some really awesome digital artists out there. Maybe you could reach out to them if you have, some deep pockets, and they could do digital artwork for you. Hold up, guys. I gotta get rid of these commercials. Just gotta play them through. Okay, I'm gonna try to continue on. I have to pay attention to the background music because, it skips the commercials and such. Okay. Right. Where was that? Here we go. Is this it? No, this isn't it. There we go. Maybe here is a cheat sheet, right? I got this from good old Adam. Okay. And there you go. You have your variations. Okay. So maybe learn the little bit on the history of pixel art and animation. It's all going to be the same. You're going to create characters in most likely 16 or 32 pixels, and then of course you got your actual backgrounds and such, which are going to be much larger. That all takes time, right? So if you don't have time for yourself to do digital artwork, you have the option to do that, right? They're struggling too, guys, right? It's not it's not that easy of a gig, right? I wish I could honestly find, where is that I put that? It was a really good image on the characters and the sizes of characters and such. Kind of like the history of, oh, here it is. I found it. The folder. I haven't been in the folder for a minute. So here we go. This is it. So just to give you an idea, right? 13 by 13, 16 by 16, and that gives you an idea, all right? And they're called sprites, okay? That's what we're going to be doing. And to be able to do motion with a sprite, you have to actually do I'm going to share with you where I got my sprites from. They're free for anybody to download, and I'll share that with you. Again, you can open your sprites up and do creating your own sprites as well. There's a lot of support out there if that's something you're interested in learning and researching. Okay, again, it all takes time. The coding takes time, the creating, like going back and forth between doing digital art and coding and making all the magic happen. It's a lot of work, guys, okay? So you got to keep strong. You got to keep your chin up about it. There are going to be days that you're going to hit brick walls, okay? You just have to succumb and surpass, okay? Take a break if you need to, and then get yourself back up, right? Okay, let's start. Let's begin. We're going to create a new project. Anybody kind of hanging out? My chat, I don't know. I did a Streamlabs update. Now everything's broken. Even though, I don't know. Not even getting into that. I almost feel like I shouldn't have updated it today. So we're going to create a new project. We're obviously going to be coding in C#. C# to me, again, I say it's a real language, just like C++ is, and C. C++. C++, I find, gives you a more in-depth understanding in what happens under the hood. Okay, it really truly does teach you that. So, but it's going to be something that you're going to have to work hard on, right? To achieve. If you want something bad enough, you got to build your own spirits up, okay? Don't let somebody hold your hand. You know, if it's something you want, you're going to have to politely ask people, please, this is what I want to do. Give me my space. And you're going to need time. Okay. Again, I sit here. I've been doing this, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And I'm literally working, not capping, every day. Every day, anywhere between 6 and 12 hours a day. Easily. It takes up all your time. Like grinding code, you end up having no life. All right, but I love it. It's fun. Still excited to do it. That's why you guys don't see me very much, right? Because I'm just grinding code. I don't have time for a life. That's hilarious to say. Okay, let's close up some of this extra information I got open. Clean things up a little bit. Okay. All right, here we go. So, I don't know what to call it. I wanted to come up with a funny name. And I guess I'm going to do this. I got rid of the other program because I had to figure out what was wrong. I've been avoiding talking about it. So, when you're learning, I learned doing console applications first. Console applications, typically I was working in C++, console, empty project, start from scratch, C++, okay? And a console essentially is just, it's a pop-up, it is. You get something displayed or put into your face on screen, but it only displays text or characters, strings, string literals, or values, okay? Great place to start learning. Grind lots of code, and try to break things. Again, you're gonna come across you're gonna have errors in your code, and that's okay, guys, right? That's how you get better, man. Stay positive. All right, C sharp. Okay, and also, again, you could research on the internet quickly using your browser if you have any issues. A lot of times you can actually click, there's a C and a series of numbers. You can click that and it'll bring up a Microsoft link, giving you an example how to fix the error in your IDE. I'll show you that if I come across any. Okay, so we're doing C sharp, right? You can type all that and look for it, or you can type Winforms. Maybe it'll come up from that. There we go. Winforms, you're looking for C sharp, Windows, desktop. Here we go. Project application, Winforms, C sharp. Again, we're looking for the .NET framework. I already have it here. So essentially, it's going to be an empty project. Because my chat is saying connecting the chat, I'm going to call it connecting the chat because, you know, why not? It's funny. What else to call it? Connecting the chat. I'm going to place it in the same solution. Again, I know I'm talking fast, but I want to get a lot out. Time flies when you're having fun, guys. It really is. It really does. Okay, so again, I'm using the .NET framework 4.8.1. Again, I'll iterate. It's solid. It's robust. It's used and abused. It's supported. It's unbreakable. Okay, it really is. And it's super simple and easy to use. Drag and drop. How much easier can it get? Now let's talk about your file explorer a little bit. Okay, if you're on Windows, I don't use any. Let's see, can I bring this? I want to try to bring this over, okay? Typically, like when you download your IDE, again, I'm talking about Visual Studio. There's Visual Studio Code you can grind code on. and a terminal and all those sort of goodness things. Your application is going to be on the C drive, right? That's normal, common, right? Create yourself a developer folder. Whatever you can, it doesn't have to be named dev. You can call it whatever you want. I'll go deep into my levels. I have one for Unity and CMake stuff I did, and then Visual Studio projects. And then depends on what I'm doing. These are my debug series, if you will. And then I have the release series. So C# apps. However, if you want to be organized, that's up to you. You don't have to go this many levels like I have, but do take note. I want to be clear about this. When you're working and creating programs, you don't want any spaces, okay? No spaces between your words, okay? You can't have them. Again, talking about spaces, when you learn the ASCII table a little bit, space is an actual character, mind-blowing as it is. Space is a character, but if you have spaces with your what's the word for it? Like your path, right? You get breaks in the code. It's almost like the program gets to a space, and when you learn about strings and memory allocation, and you have that deeper understanding of memory allocation and what's happening in your RAM, essentially, you'll understand spaces and what happens a little more. Okay, C# apps, and then I have one for Windows Winforms, and then these are all the projects I've kind of been working on and off here. Okay, a lot of working projects that I've been trying to sell and release and all that, but it's tough. Myself, I'm not really I'm a doer, right? I'm a recluse, whatever the word is. I'm not really a salesman. Maybe I'm kind of selling you on this, but this is something that I understand. I'm not asking for money and all that stuff. So this teaching you and being a seller on this is easy for me. Okay, and I'm going to share with you in the future my A Wizard's Tale project I've been working on. I've also been working on a home country mathematics program as well that I have plans on sharing with you guys and gals, okay? Excuse me. So there you go, okay? No spaces. That's what I wanted to talk about, okay? Just so you don't have any problems or issues, okay? You see that? No spaces in between. All right, that's the path. And connecting the chat, let's continue. Okay, leave that checked, that's fine. I always place the solution in the same location. Okay, there we go. And then, of course, it's going into my Winforms folder. That's where I want it. All right, we're kind of starting this again. I'm going to go over it again. I already figured out what I did. I have an ID open already, and then I have this second one open. Because I'm kind of trying to, I've already typed all the code, so I kind of use that as my following tool, if you will. And to also copy and paste back and forth, just to kind of try to speed things up here a little bit. But I'm showing you guys here from the start, right from scratch, what to do. Okay? Of course, you got to get shown how to install your IDE and all that sort of goodness. Once you get that all set up, that's the other thing I should have mentioned. Let's see if I can open it here quickly. Get tools and features. Okay, I can open it. It's under tools and features. When you're doing this, you're going to want to check, not this one, right here, the .NET desktop development. Okay, check that. This is all I have that's checked, okay, as you can see. All right, so that's a heads up. When you're going to do this, you're going to need to check the .NET desktop development, all right? And again, that's under Get Tools and Features. Okay, let's get going. So the first thing I usually do is I go into my Solution Explorer. Now, if this is my setup, my layout, you can actually set your layout however you want. Okay. A lot of times people have this on the right side. Okay. It's all a personal preference thing. There is no right way and there's no wrong way. It's just the same as a white background and a dark background. Okay. There's, everybody has their own preferences. There really truly is no right way and no wrong way. Okay. It's your way. Okay, so if it's not there, click View, and there it is. View Solution Explorer, okay? This is a direct kind of connect link to your File Explorer, okay? All right. So I'm going to keep this up here so I can bring it back and forth. The project has been created, all right? The project is called Connecting. There you go. See, it's right here now. All right, boom, because I'm in the proper location. Okay, all of this gets automatically created for us. I'm going to show you that I don't know, there must be a better way to explain this, but I call it live communication. This is live communication with your File Explorer. So whatever you add here or delete here will be affected in your File Explorer. Okay, just to be aware of that. All right, so I'm clicking the project name, which is right here. And I'm going to right click and I want to add a new folder. We're going to need some folders. Okay, the first one's going to be called Core, which I typed incorrectly. Let me do this because it's funny. I always do that sometimes when I'm typing quickly, like I don't let go of the shift button quick enough. Okay, there we go. So look, check it out. I'll bring it back and I'll show you. Core is added. Core is added. Right there. And okay, so I think, well, I might back and forth this a lot more, but we'll continue. So what else do I need? I need, whoops, wrong folder location. Bear with me. I'm trying to be quick here, guys. I'm going to go to the project I already have open because I'm going to kind of copy and steal from it because you can do that. And that's where I kind of glitched the last stream I was doing. When I was copying a certain file, I actually cut it. I cut it instead of copying it. So that's where the break occurred. It was my own error. And I had to figure it out. Which, it took me deleting the last project. That's fine. I wasn't planning on keeping it. Otherwise, it's just for demonstration purposes only. So I didn't really lose anything. Okay. That project is called, here we go. So let's add some more. Make sure you click the project name, right click, add, new folder. I'm going to call it Form Manager. Okay, I do this because sometimes, well, you can create more than one form, guys. You can have multiple forms and it's endless. I think you could have like 10,000. I did a search on it. Like you could have 10,000 forms in one singular program. Okay, so you don't have to be worried about when you're creating forms if you're increasing memory and all that, whatever, right? Because you'll be fine. So what I do is I create a form manager and I'm going to click this form one. That's this here. And I'm going to literally drag and drop it right into there. Okay. Again, that's done automatically in File Explorer as well. Okay. So now it's a little bit of organization. I didn't need to do that for this project, but I just wanted to show you guys and gals that you can do that as well. You can safely drag and drop and move it. Okay, let's see. Let's say you want to create an icon. And there's also the model. What is that? Model, view model. There's all that stuff going on too, but we're not going to get into that. Icon, not too concerned. And then what else? Let's see, add new folder, resources. This is the one we really need, okay? This is your most important folder right here, resources. Okay? Now, to give you kind of a quick breakdown, your program, this is where your main. If you're learning C++ and you're like going, where's the main? Because main is kind of where all the magic happens when you're doing console applications in C++, right? It's right here, right there, okay? You don't need to go into it. You don't even need to type code in here. When you're learning doing console applications with C++, that's where you're working. You're working in the main. Okay, it is a method. All right, but so if I open it, oh, there we go. It took a little bit, but I opened it. You don't need to do anything here. Okay, you can leave it, just leave it alone. I'm just showing you that here it is. Okay, don't touch it, don't edit it. Again, if I do something, automatically you get this asterisk. Asterisk! Right? That tells you it's dirty. The code's dirty. What that means is, well, you basically have to save, okay? I'm going to Control Z, which is an undo, and I don't need to save. Excuse me, guys and gals. I don't do a lot of talking, so my throat gets a little grindy. Isn't that amazing? Okay, when you close stuff, be very careful. Right-click. Sometimes I click close all tabs, okay? Just in a haste, when you're in a haste or in a rush, it can happen. This is too close together. Too close together, okay? You go boom, and you hit it, and everything gets closed, and then you have to open everything again. And it is very monotonous, especially when you have 20 forms. Trust me, that's happened to me. Reopening 20 forms, and then you have it all organized, and everything's all regioned and such, and you have to uncollapse every region. It's just, yeah, it can get wild. You'll understand if you do regions and that, and I'll show you what I mean. So right-click and just slow yourself down and just click close. You know where it is. You could easily double-click it. Right? It's just a simple double click to open it. All right? And then you also have properties, your assembly info, resources. You don't need to mess with this stuff. Now, if you break your designer window, you may end up in the having to go to the actual form designer. Okay? So you understand when you're doing stuff in the designer here, it gets automatically updated for you here, okay, in the designer. So this is automatically created for you, done for you under the hood. You don't have to do anything here. And to be aware of, you also get a dispose, a protected override void dispose automatically created for you in your designer. Okay, we're going to get into protected override voids. Don't worry, don't let it overcomplicate or confuse you. It's all nothing but goodness. Okay, it really is helpful. So do be aware that that is here inside your designer. Because we could add this to our actual code, which I'm going to show you. I don't have it open yet, but we could. And the system will warn you. It'll say, hey, we already have this. You don't need it, right? That's the great thing about Visual Studio. So I'm going to close that. So there you go. Now you understand. Okay? Little things to learn, and hopefully they're going to be helpful. Properties. You're going to need properties. You're going to be working in. I love the properties. That's one great thing about Winforms. You have this properties window. Go to View, Properties window, or hit F4. Okay? Boom, it's there. Sometimes you may accidentally close it. Ooh, don't close that one, right? So F4, boom, back. Hello, that quick. You're going to need it and you're going to use it a lot, especially when you're creating events and working with your form. Okay, now I want to actually pin it. Pinning it locks it. Okay, so let's do this. And I'm going to go to my other project and I'm just going to kind of copy and paste. I could show you kind of the quickest thing to do, but what you need to do is, I'm going to show you something. The first thing I do is update my font. Actually, there's something else I wanted to do, but we'll do this first. Okay, as soon as I update my font, I can click the 3 lines and change it right here easily. Or I could just highlight and copy and paste and then just click somewhere over here and boom, it automatically resizes your form. Okay. Excuse me, guys. So that's your size. Okay. Now, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but I wanted to go to here, back to Solution Explorer. And we're going to do a little setup information. I'm going to show you can actually set up some initial information in your project before, let's say you want to actually release your project. You could do some of this initial setup. You're going to see this. You're going to be using this anyways because we're going to be working in this resources location. All right. Now things you could do. I'm going to open up my other one here. I'm going to try to not break it. So application, my startup, usually I do this. Okay. It's the actual project name, .program. Okay. Here you can add an icon. We're not quite at that point. There's some things you have to do when creating an icon. You actually have to, I think it's 64 by 64 if I recall. You have to, and it has to be an ICO extension. It can't be just a PNG or a JPEG. Okay, excuse me. We'll worry about that. We're not doing that today. Okay, we could do some assembly information. And I'm just going to copy and paste this. Just a fun little RPG game. I mean, it could be anything. I'm just showing you as an example. Okay. And then you can also change the neutral language, which is a little bit, I'm going to type E. It'll bring us to English because obviously that's what I'm speaking. But sometimes you have to click it twice. And I don't know why. I don't know, it's just odd. So I just do it twice. Okay, click OK. And then we have build, and then we have build events. I also have this, which I learned from WPF. Oh, did I delete that from here? Must have. I don't need to add it, but I wanted to show you it anyways. Let me see if I could actually open up a different project quickly, and just to bring that up, let's see, this will work, and I just need to open up this because I deleted it in the other one, so I have to copy and paste it again. It's a little bit of typing, and Control Shift Home, Control C, Control V. There it is. Okay. And then I just got to close my project that I opened because I'm not working in this one. I'm working in this one. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. So there we go. All right. Let me show you it. It's in the build events. If exists, these are quotations, $, and you have an open and close rounded brackets. There's a dot, like a like a dot separator, dot locked, close quotation, DL, short for delete, and then pat. This is if you have build event, command lines, and there's issues, you'll end up getting a locked target path locked. Okay, so you have those options with your build events. All right, just showing because why not. I'm not going to go into detail on all this other stuff, but we are going to be working in the resources a little bit. And then let's go to publish. Again, you could change your major, minor, build, revisions. Especially you're going to want to do that if you're doing updates and being, supporting. Because of course, once you create a project, it's a never-ending cycle. You can release it early, like a beta. It's a working version, and then continue working on it, and then you can release the actual version. But then you're going to have other build versions after that, right? Because you're slowly improving and making it better. All right, there's that. Prerequisites, if you need, and updates, okay? If you want to offer updates, this application should check for updates. And then options. Again, language. Is that music? Okay, we're good. Whoops. Edo, Japan. Ooh, I'm hungry now. Yes, yum yum. Okay, United States, perfect. Publisher name, bear with me guys, kind of going back and forth here a little bit. And then I'm just gonna do this. Let's say you have an actual company or publisher name. You might have a support URL, an error URL if you have that kind of support. Deployment, CD installation, which isn't common anymore. Create a desktop shortcut and all that sort of goodness. Okay? All right. So, just wanted to kind of give you an overview of that. There's more that you could do, and again, that's other videos, and I'm sure there's support out there for that as well. And oh yeah, I forgot. Quickly, let's mention, then you also have a publish wizard, right? Which helps you if you're ready and you're confident and comfortable with the way your program's built and its working application. Again, you have to test it and try to break it, guys, right? It has to be a working application if you want it to be successful, right? So you have to do your own testing and do your own breaking and your own fixing, okay? And you can do the publish wizard. Okay, I know there's a video out there somewhere on the old YouTube on how to publish a Winforms application. I came across it one day too, and it's actually a good one. I can't think of which one it is off the top of my head. All right, back to this. So that is that. Again, we're going to be in resources when we get there. Now let's continue with this. Form border size. So I'm back in our design. This is where you can do all your drag and drops. Again, everything's here in your toolbox. I have it as a left side flyout, and you could do the same thing with your properties. You could have it as a right side flyout or vice versa. Toolbox, drag and drop. Simple drag and drop. Just like a label. Let's say I wanted a label. That's what I love about Winforms. No XAML code, none of that. Drag and drop. It already has all the properties associated with it in here. So if I want to move this, all I have to do is just change the location. Okay, actually, well, first thing you got to do is actually click it. I noticed it immediately. How did I notice, guys? I'll tell you. When you work with this long enough, the coordinates. These are X and Y coordinates. And just to give you an idea, so you understand, right? Just like mathematics, you have X and Y coordinates. I love mathematics, whether it makes you cringe or not, I don't know. I don't know. To me, mathematics is just, yeah, it's up there for me in my logic. I love it. I love mathematics. So here we go. X and Y. So this intersection right here underneath our menu strip or whatever you want to call it. It's not really a menu strip, but you get the idea. This is 0, 0, this corner. Okay, so if you want anything you place in your form is going to be based off the 0, 0 starting point. All right, so I could click the label and I could easily move it by just typing in the properties. And let's say I want it 38 by 38. Boom, instantly moved. All right. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Again, that's what I love about Winforms. Nice drag and drop, simple and easy. And you can create stuff quickly and quicker, much quicker. Hang on, I got a commercial here I got to try to get rid of. It's like it's got to do a commercial every time a song ends, you know? All right. I'm going to so let's finish with our form. We don't need this. We don't need our form sizable. Like, it's a game. If you're creating a game, who does sizable windows for a game? Nobody, I don't think. Fix single. Now, if you're creating a Windows application or whatever, I could see that, doing that. But I just go with fix single. Because you're going to be working with anchors. And you need to do that especially if you have a sizable window. This is your window, okay, or essentially your window. If you're running a game, you're going to be running this window. Okay, here we could add an icon. The icon would be up here. That would be a simple PNG. And now, when we run this game or execute it, where do we want it to load? Well, I'm going to load it center screen. And what that means is center of the monitor that you're looking at, essentially. Okay? Now, up here, don't change the name up here. Okay? Leave name alone, because name here, anything in this means this is for the code behind, and I'll show you the code behind quickly here, or at least try to quickly. Okay, don't change this. If you do want to change it, you can change it here in Solution Explorer. You can right click and rename it. This is the best way to do it because any code behind that's created for you gets updated automatically. You create more problems for you if you do it out here. Okay, you can. It just depends on what you're doing, but you can have create more complications for yourself. Okay, center screen, you can have it as maximized or minimized. I'm just going to go normal. And then here, the text, I could actually type text here and it would change it to say from Form 1 to, I don't know, I'll just show you. Hello guys. And automatically gets updated. All right. But I'm going to clear that because I could actually type it in my code behind. Now, I've already kind of went over this already, but I'm doing a bit of a redo. But I want to actually share this with you guys and gals, right? So, unfortunately, I have to do a redo, but for you guys and gals, I'm okay with that. Let me find that. It's in here. Display resolution. Excuse me. Having an understanding of display resolution or screen size, this is all related, guys and gals. Pixels. Pixels by pixels. Okay? Widths and heights. Okay? I'm working with a 1920 by 1080 monitor. Okay? That's what I'm working with. Okay, you can obviously have larger monitors. You're going to want to go with a decent size screen size, maybe a laptop size. Figure out, I don't know, what size is a laptop screen on the normal, and that could be your minimum. People could easily maximize the screen to fit their monitor and those sort of things, right? So, because I'm just going to make it fit the screen just for you guys and for streaming purposes. Now, I just remembered something. Okay, oh, good. I did turn that off just so you can see the whole screen. Just remember, I have this thing that's part of Streamlabs that is just kind of in the way. So, but I actually turned the visibility off. Okay, again, I'm going to go 1920 by 1080. All right. Now, viewers, I don't know if you're the one watching earlier today. It's great to have you back. You're amazing. Again, I want to I haven't explained this, but you're all amazing people. Those of you that are still supporting the channel, whether you're on Twitch or on YouTube. Now, for my Twitch friends, I do apologize. I'm not around, guys. You guys, please understand. Please, please, please understand. When you become a coder, you end up with no life. I'm literally going from as soon as I make coffee or tea, whatever it is, to bedtime. Plus, I'm raising a kid too, so I got to do dishes and I got to cook supper and all that sort of goodness. So really, I have no time and no life. If I could hang out with you guys, if I was actually already rich and stuff, I probably would already be around throwing money at you. But that's not real right now. So just please understand, I'm always grinding code and I'm always busy. I have no time for anybody. And again, it's no offense to any of you. It's just you have to have that understanding. Getting into this really takes up all your time. With coding, you're redoing your code, or you're fixing code, or you're expanding on your code, or you're creating classes. There's so much going on. You're constantly working at it, okay? All right. So I finished talking about resolution. I just wanted to explain that, and also wanted to quickly explain what happened to my stream last. I broke it because we were working on doing a background here, and I have my other Visual Studio open. This is the logic I'm thinking behind it. I had to delete the other project, kind of figure it out, because it actually broke my other project. My other project wasn't running too. So I'm like, okay, it's something I did that messed with both of them, because I have both Visual Studios running. I got a dual monitor setup, obviously. So what I did is I was in File Explorer, and I was copying from the project I have on the left side open to the project which is on the right hand side, okay? And I copied the image to that project. I didn't copy it though. Wasn't paying attention. I actually cut it out. I didn't copy it, I cut it out. So that's where I was having to break. Both programs were open, and it was like dirt. It literally just it had I don't know, one of its nerves in its head just kind of broke, So, but that's okay. I figured it out, and I do apologize. I had to end the stream, but if I tried to figure, I just didn't want to waste your time, and sometimes it takes a little bit to kind of figure out what happened, right? So, I didn't want to waste all your time doing that. So that's the main reason. A little bit embarrassing that it happened, but I did it to myself and I figured it out. That's what, to be honest, I like kind of these challenges because it helps me figure things out, and I'm only getting better. Okay. So with that said, now let's do the resolution. and I'm going to go 1920 by 1080. I'm going to copy and paste to try to save a little bit of time. Okay, so because obviously the designer is the same size of my screen, it kind of has to fit it in. We got all this other magic going on here, right? As you can see, so we can't see it all. So we have the scroll bars. So this is the only thing that's kind of like, you have to do a little bit of scrolling back and forth. I wish I could just scroll my mouse here, or even right here. Like if I scroll my mouse here, it's still going up and down. Okay, so it's not very helpful, but just get used to kind of moving it. You have to kind of grab it and move it. You can actually scroll here with your mouse, but here you got to grab this one. Okay. All right, so we actually have something that's ready. It's going to run. Let's test it. Make sure it's not like, broken. So let's run it. All right. Phew, I was a little worried for a second. Now they were kind enough to give us the minimize and the expand buttons and the close buttons. You need it, right? Because again, it's an actual running. So when I run it, guys, it's an actual thing that I'm running. It's using resources on the system. Okay. So, and you have to be able to close things. Otherwise, you're going to have processes running in the background still. Okay. That's why the close buttons are there, to end processes. I imagine they have an application.exit in the code behind for that X button. Okay. Now, where's the code behind? Well, here we go. Click the blue area, just double click it. And there we go. Boom. There's your code behind. All right. Now I'm going to again kind of try to go through this quicker. We're going to start grinding out code a little bit. Again, I'm going to talk a little bit about coding in that. I'm going to try not to go off on a tangent. I'll explain a little bit, but I'll try to get back on track and just kind of grind code. If you want to learn C#, again, you're going to have to. I recommend you do, right? Just so you have an understanding what you're typing, right? This will be a good little fun project. You can type it up and you can go, yay, I did a project and I got a working thing, right? It actually is a good feeling. Okay, let me just undo my pins so that the flyouts just become fly-ins. Okay, let's copy and paste. I do a bit of organization. Now, whether you use this or not is up to you. We're going to do a background. I'm going to try this again, but I do have to be careful. Do not cut the image. Copy the image. We're going to do a read-only. Read-only essentially is kind of like constness. You can only read to it. You can't write to it. Okay? It recommends a name. A name is like essentially an object. Objects make the magic happen. It's a variable, if you will. Now, when you get into data types and you're creating variables, depends on the data type. The variable can only handle whatever that data type is. Objects can actually hold more information. Okay? They make more magic happen. So that's what I love about objects. Okay, they hold more. They can hold more. All right, equals, and we're going to actually go image dot from file. This is a method. It's a built-in method in the image class. Imagine that's what this is, a class. Yes, it is. Class system.drawing. That is part of the system.drawing using. Namespaces are important, right? It's where it gets all its information from. And then this would be a method that's inside this class. Okay, but it also can take information. It accepts information. If you highlight over this, you can see that if I get English, it accepts a string. Okay, I'm not going to get into details of what a string is. Hopefully you're learning coding and you'll understand what that means. Okay? Again, if you want to kind of go right from C++, you can learn from my C++ videos on my YouTube channel. Bologna&Weiners coding. Let's go. So it accepts a file name. Okay, so it gives you some hints. What do I need? I need a hint. Okay, so here we're just kind of just putting information. It's like, here you go, program. This is the file I want you to grab. Okay, but we need to put the information in. So quickly, I'm going to show you. Now, I'm going to go in and I want to make sure I actually copy this time. Copy, not cut. Copy. And I'm going to paste it, and I'll show you where it gets pasted. Okay, this is important. I'm going to go back up to the actual project name. Okay, I'm going to bring it over here and show you. Normally I don't share this stuff, but you kind of need to see it. So we're in the File Explorer, connecting to chat. Go inside the actual folder. You can have all these folders. These are the ones we created, right? We did these ourselves. Okay. Man. He's not very good at talking. Good thing he's better at coding. I still push on and venture on for you guys and gals. Regardless. Okay, we go into our bin. We're going into debug. Okay, do take note we're in debug mode. Okay, because when you're working on a project, you want it to be in debug. Right? Whoops. I shouldn't be going anywhere else until I'm done. Right, I was in File Explorer. I was a little worried for a second. I thought, oh my God, did I break it again? We're okay. Okay, so we're in debug mode. Go into debug, and then I pasted it inside that. Now, just to be aware, right? If you don't give it a path in the code behind, if you don't give it an actual path, we're saying an image from here, right? It doesn't know where to look for it, right? So just so you have that understanding, it'll look for it inside your bin debug folder. Okay, that's where it will look. Okay. Now what I need is the actual, so I'm going to right click, I'm going to click rename because I'm a bit of a lazy typer and I don't want to have any typos. And it's a string, right? So I'm going to paste the actual name, which is called background grass underscore blah, blah, blah. I just saved it as that. It's like whatevs. We also have to tell it what it is, what type of file or extension it is. And in this case, I'm going to right click properties and I'll show you it is a PNG file. Okay, I just right click the actual file, properties, and PNG file. Okay, now this isn't going to do anything yet, guys and gals. It's just giving the location. That's all it's doing right now. When you understand, code is run line by line until it reaches a method, then it'll do the method magic, and then it'll continue line by line. That's all part of the understanding how, all part of the thinking like a computer. Okay. All right. Excuse me. I needed some more tea here. I wish I didn't drink it so quickly. Okay, we're not going to do any player related stuff yet. We're going to add that in eventually. Let's see. we're gonna add in. Let's see. I'm gonna add in this, just so I kind of know where I'm copying and pasting from. It gives me a quick visual, so I'm not wandering, looking all over the place. Let's see. We're gonna need all that eventually. Not that. We're gonna need instantiation. We're not ready for that. So let's do the let's begin. This is where I do my organization, is kind of right here. Again, this is a constructor, guys, okay? It's the constructor that's part of the form. Again, we're working in a class now, and you're learning coding. You'll learn more about classes. Classes are awesome. It's kind of like, a lot of people say it's like a blueprint. Let's say you have a character. Characters could have like attributes and qualities and all that stuff. And all the characters can have the same attributes and qualities. So that's why classes exist, because all the different characters can adopt those qualities, excuse me, and or characteristics from that class. Okay, it's like a commonality thing. Make sense? Now the code is giving me squigglies. That's because I need to do an end region. It's a start and stop type thing. This is what I call start stop. Kind of like XAML. You have a start and you have a stop. Okay, squigglies go away. So region constructor, and I could collapse that. That's why I do the regions, because you have that collapsibility. Now with classes, there's a bit of an organization. It depends if you're on C++ or C#. It's different. I'm trying to remember. In C++, I think private members are, you have to tell it it's public in C++, but in C# you have to tell it it's private. It's an accessibility thing. I hope I got that right. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head, but it's the opposite with each other. But there's an order of operations. A lot of times you'll have so with C++, you'll have your constructors, and then you'll have your methods, and then, or maybe you'll have your helper methods. And then at the bottom of all that are your private variables, right? With C#, you could do the opposite. I could begin with public at the top, right? You have to be explicit. Okay, I don't want to, yeah. Let me just ask a quick question here. If I could type. I want to make sure I give my information to you guys correctly. By default, that's the term, by default. Okay, in C++, private is default, by default. C#, let me see. Oh, come on, please tell me. So Python is public by default. C++ is private by default. You have to have that understanding. It's an accessibility thing. Okay, it depends on which language you're using. You don't have to type public. You don't have to type private. But I like typing them, so I don't mind. Right? So C# class variables or fields are strictly private by default. I thought it was the opposite. Maybe I'm getting either that, this information's incorrect. That's okay. Just something you have to be aware of, all right? I type it regardless. Okay. Let's see. Okay, methods. We still have the squiggly lines here. So I'm going to continue. Let's end region that. We're kind of doing this again. Good thing I have the good old copy and paste action going on. This is part of my organization. Okay, that is end region. Perfect. Now, whether this is correct or not, my helpers and my wrappers, I've already kind of called them that, so I don't even, honestly, at this point, really care. Helpers to me are helpers help methods, okay? I'll give you a generalization. Let's say you're doing a mathematics calculation, right? And you only want the method to kind of return just the information, like an integer of sorts. A helper method will do all the calculations for you. So the helper method does a bunch of calculations, and it'll pass that information to your method. Okay, it's kind of like a friend doing your homework for you. I think that made sense. Totally did. Okay. So yeah. And then we go into, I have some cleanup. We may or may not do it. I don't know. We'll see. Depends how far we get into this. I just want to get it to a point where we can actually have a character moving. I've already done all this code, so for the most part, it's just copy and paste. Okay, and then all this at the end. There, okay, and that's the end here. Okay, we have a saving area and all that sort of stuff. Okay, which we aren't really going to do, but you do have those options. So I'll show you my organization a little bit. And we're going to copy and paste code or type code, and you'll see. Okay? All right. So the first thing we need to do is, again, we're going to start with displaying an image to the background and displaying some text. Okay, so let's start with that. So we're going to need a method, and I'm calling it a wrapper because it's wrapping it up. It's wrapping it up. Wrappers and helpers are different, but at this point I really don't care. I'm calling it a wrapper because this is a wrap. That's why I look at it like that. That's a wrap. Okay, this is our startup. Okay. Now, to explain quickly, it's ghosted, and what that means is that you have to call your methods, okay? I think I explained that in my C++ series, right? Methods are useless unless you call them, right? You have to remember to call them. If you're running a program and going, why isn't it working, and you're pulling your hair, just check to see if you're calling your method. Okay? That one is a kind of bit of a, what was I doing? You know, it happens to the best of us. Okay, there we go. Here's this task. Man, tongue twisters Saturdays, even though it's not Saturday. Oh, I almost choked on my tea. I can't even have fun and be happy, man. I swear to God. Am I not allowed to be happy? Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I took advantage of drinking some tea and I kind of almost inhaled it. Bad. All right, back to this. Properties. Remember down here? So I got the form clicked. I double clicked it, that's why it took me to there. Down here in text. So I could actually write that in code because it's lengthy, right? It's a little bit long. Okay, the program I'm working on is called A Wizard's Tale. I'm just rolling with it. Or the game, or it's not really an RPG game. It's kind of like a speed rush kind of game a little bit. Anyways, so it's a little bit lengthy. And so what this means, what does this mean? Well, what it's referring to is this form, okay? Type this text to this form. So this belongs to form 1, okay? So that's what this means. Okay, that's a part of C++. You have pointers, and I don't want to go on a tangent. There, you could even add this can only be used in classes, just to be clear. Okay, it's the only location that it's utilized is inside a class. Okay, so that's explaining that. Okay, that's for this down here. All right. So when I run it, that's why I cleared it. There's no sense having anything in here. Might as well keep the field empty. No sense putting anything there, because when you run it, it's just going to get overwritten or wiped out or whatever, right? It's unnecessary. Okay. Background image. Okay. This is kind of the point where we had issues, and we're actually going to continue from this point. Okay, so now what we need to do is, recall, I've typed all this, but this is the leading information. Think of it as like when the compiler, or when it compiles and runs, it goes line by line, and it takes in the information and goes, oh, hey, I got this. Okay, this is where I go to get this. And then it'll look for a method, because it needs the method to go, hey, do this, right? So we're giving it the leading information, but we have to kind of call it, okay? So this, which is referring to form 1, this form 1's back image, we don't need to type form 1, but just think of it like that. This form 1, you can even say that in your head. This background image is equal to background image, and I just need to tab. That's it. Tab, done. And that's what this is here, this magic right here. Okay, so I'll kind of, you have a left hand and right side. Left hand side equals right hand side. Okay, logic. I wish I could do that. I have to do that in this form. Okay, just so it doesn't. Okay, there we go. Left hand side equals right hand side. So whatever's on the right hand side gets passed to the left hand side. Okay, so this gives information to the left hand side. Okay, that's essentially the logic. So this background image, which is from file, that information gets passed back into this background image. Okay, makes sense? I'll just leave that there, but that's something you need to have an understanding of. Which way does information get passed back and forth? It gets passed from the right hand side into the left hand side. Okay? And the other thing we're going to do is this dot background image layout equals image layout dot stretch. And you'll have, that's the thing, what I love about objects. As soon as you hit the dot separator, you get a nice little pull down list automatically, because the program knows that, you know, it has an idea what you want it to do. Okay, and I could just go through here and pick one. I'll highlight it and just hit tab, boom, boom, done. Okay, we're going to stretch it because we want it to fit the screen. All right, some things for rendering. This is kind of part of the rendering in your GPU stuff. I put some notes here. This is for you guys and gals, right? So double buffered. This is all part of the graphics card. Equals true. This has to do with keys, your keyboard keys, but I'm going to type it here now because I want it to be there so I don't accidentally forget it. Okay, so that's important as well. Okay, and then I'm going to just copy and paste this just to get it in here. This is all part of the paint on paint sequences and set styles for your on paint. Okay, You could just, again, this is actually a method, and this is all information inside the method. Set style takes, well, it could take a lot of information. It accepts a lot of information. All right. And I was just thinking, I got some other code to add in, but I was thinking, should I wait? I could wait. Let's just display onto the screen. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is call my method. Okay, you could run it, you could build it, you could do all that sort of magic, but if you don't call your method, it's useless. Okay, be aware of that. This is where all the calling happens. Normally, you'll see it put in your Form 1 load. It's part of the initialized component for me, so I put it here. Either or, you're going to be fine. Okay, this is all I put in here. That's it. Form 1 constructor is done. Now you can, if you notice, you can see how bright the text is. Well, that's telling you that it's being called. Look at it. You just look at it. Is it ghosted or sickly, or is it bright and healthy, right? This automatically tells you, hey, you've called your method. It's a visual, right? I'm going to build it and run it. Oh, please work. Oh, I was so worried for a sec. We haven't built it, so I've been typing stuff. We haven't done a build yet. All right, let's run this. Let's go. Happy. Okay, finally we did it, guys and gals. We got an image. Again, it took a sec because I do have a little bit going on. I have 2 Visual Studios running. I want to quickly see here. Right now, I'm running 49% memory and 26 on the max with my CPU. That's not too bad, considering, you know, I built it. I designed it and built it. It was about 3 years ago. And it's still going. I love you, computer. I've actually, I use Corsair fans. The ones I bought before, they were like making noise. So I've replaced my fans, so it's a lot quieter now. They're not spinning at 1200 anymore either, which is great. Okay, we did it, guys and gals. We finally got a background running. We got a bit more to do. This is actually, I don't know how to do these, guys, right? Because these videos can get lengthy. Things don't just happen quickly, right? It takes time. And as you can see, of course I'm talking a bit, but I'm also explaining things. And I'm copying and pasting just to try to speed things up a little bit. But everything takes time. It just doesn't happen like that, you know? We're going on to up to 2 hours here. I'm thinking maybe I could do this another 15 minutes. And then maybe I need to make another tea, so I'm going to consider doing another 2-hour video after. Okay? So bear in mind, these are going to be a couple hour videos, but they're only going to be 2 or 3 videos. Okay? All right, let's go. Whoops. Getting carried away. Too many things clickety. All right, so yeah, that's pretty good. 17%, 14% on the CPU. I mean, yeah, I got Chrome running too with, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 8 tabs. 2 Visual Studios. I got Photos running. I've got the Streamlabs running. I got Windows Explorer running. I've got Task Manager running. Tell me I don't know how to build PCs. Okay, what's next? What is next? I guess we could do. We need to get into doing the player class. Essentially, we do need to get into that. We aren't really. So the setup's done. We're going to be doing it. We need to do a timer. So we'll do some little bit information for the player. Let's do that quickly. Player walking. Player, it's a int. Yeah, right here. I'm just gonna go like this. The program will recommend the read-only modifier. A lot of times, it depends on the code. A lot of times you don't want it to be read-only, like, because you look at it like constness. Okay, when you const a this is an integer, right? 0 is an integer. The variable is attached. The variable holds the information. Remember, left-hand side equals right-hand side. So whatever's on the right-hand side gets passed into the variable. This variable holds the information. Okay, this is just what type of data it is, and is it private or public? Is it read-only or is it not read-only? Is it modifiable? Okay, walking will be modifiable, right? But because the program recommends read-only, later in your code you're gonna have to get rid of it, or you could just ignore it and go. It's not a major error. It's like a minor. It's not even really an error. It's like a recommendation. That's all it is. And I can simply get rid of it just by clicking this here. It'll get rid of it. It's still there, but I want walking to be modifiable. We're going to need some bools for moving the character. Is the character moving left? It's kind of like a true or false thing, right? Think of true and false like zeros and ones. On or off. Is it on or is it off? Essentially, that's true or false. True is 1. Okay, and then I have this. Is stage 1? Is it stage 1? Okay, right now it's not what we call initialized. So it's unknown. Is it true? Is it false? It doesn't know because I haven't told it what it should be. So I could make it false right now, but it's fine either way for now. Is stage 1. Did I just cut that? I really have to be careful. I literally cut that out. Okay, stop. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm bad for that stuff, okay? I'm copying and pasting just to speed things up a little bit. Okay, and then I'll explain. Okay, these ones are static because really when you spawn the player needs to be spawned in a location. Remember, this is 0, 0 here. So, in regards to the code, I'm spawning it. X is 304 and Y is 304. So you have that understanding. X is positive to the right. Now we're working with a GUI here, guys. This isn't math. I love math, but as we know, down is negative if we're talking about linear equations and such. Okay, but in this case, on a screen, down is positive. Okay, so X is 304 and Y is 304. Okay, so just with that, and that's pixels. Think of it as in pixels. Remember the size of our form. I probably explain in more detail than a lot of channels probably do. So you get a lot of good learning quality information. I feel. Okay, size of our monitor is 1920 by 1080. Okay, we're easily within that range. Make sense? Totally does. Player speed. Okay, and current speed. Right? copying and pasting just to speed things up a little bit here. Read only. Okay? That's a constant. Okay? I could constant as well. Does const go here? Const, I can't remember if you can put it with both. Const read only, or is it a const only? You can't have them together. Okay? It accepts const as well. Alright? It'll work either way. Now, I mean, it makes sense. One's a const, one's read only. They're kind of conflicting, right? I don't normally put them together. I was just doing some wild guessing, okay? But you can const as well. Okay? I'll put them back to read only because we're going to do some consting. All right. Now the size of our player, okay? Where does our player come from? Okay, this is what we're going to get into. Okay, where does the player come from? Where is John or Johnny getting the player from? Let me explain. Right here. This is where it comes from. Okay, not promoting the channel, but I like this guy's code for player movement. I like it. I'm not going to do his code. I'm doing my own code here to share with you guys. Player movement code. But I do like his code because I find his code very solid and robust. So I do like this guy's code. Okay, so going here, it's a nice little video tutorial. You can check it out. And you can click this link here. All right, I'm going to close this. And you're going to get this. Now, you're going to get these pop-ups. Just ignore them. Click down. Just ignore them. It's spam and garbage, okay? But that's okay. You can still get the images right here. Download images and background here. Just close this. It's asking you don't need to. Just click close. I'm showing you the goodness here, okay? And then you're going to just save it to your downloads, okay? And you'll get the 4-way. So you're going to end up with 16 sprites. 4 for left because they're different motions, right? So when you're creating sprites, if I recall, are these sprites 64 by 64? I think they are. I'll show you just to confirm. Off the top of my head, I think they are. Okay, so the shield is moving. You can see that, right? Look, the shield is moving. So yeah, when you're creating sprites, you have to kind of create that 4 motions in each direction, and it gives it that realism. It's great. So download the images and the background. I've got my own background. You can use their background. It's fine. And then to get the 4-way movement code, okay, it's good starter code. If you want to use their starter code, that's fine. This will take you to GitHub. Okay, I'll click it anyways, and you're gonna go to 4-way movement. You're going to click that, and you're going to want the Form 1 code. Okay? And it's just a matter of copying and pasting it. This is good starter code. Nothing wrong with it, and it works. Okay? And again, the player movement, the way he set up his player movement, I like it. Okay? But I'm going to show you there's another way of doing it. It just depends on the game you're making, in a sense. That's kind of the way I look at it. Once we get the character moving, I'll explain the differences. Okay? But I thought for funsies, I'll do this. Whether you use this code for your player, that's all up to you. All right? How are we doing for time, guys? Kind of almost there. I'm thinking of doing the stream again. I got a bit of energy to continue on. I need to get myself a tea, and that's what I want to do. And then I'm going to do a back-to-back stream just for you guys, because, you know, like, they take a little bit of time. When I run the stream, I'm going to just try my best to kind of get right into it. Okay. I was doing this earlier today. I had some issues, technical difficulties. So I wanted to restart the stream just for those that are committed to watching the content, because again, you're all amazing, wonderful people. And that's what when I was talking about the Twitch people and the YouTube people that are on my channel and those that are consistent viewers, like, I just want you guys and gals to know that you're amazing, and I truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate every single one of you. I really do. Okay. There we go. I should have built it first, but I'm going to end it at that. At least we got to start. We're going to work on the player and getting the player. We have to actually get the player painted on and do some code to actually move the character using our keyboard. All right, so do stay tuned. I'm Johnny with, well, obviously I had a different kind of name for my Twitch, but I went back to my original Xbox gamer name. So that's why the change. I went back to my original. I should have never changed it in the first place, but that's okay. My original gamer name was D2 or D2 Damnation. If you guys are wondering what that means or what it refers to, if you ever watched Resident Evil, the Resident Evil series, or even played the game series, Capcom, I'm one of the OGs that played Res Evil 2. That was my first Resident Evil game, Res Evil 2. Not to date myself or anything, but good times. But there's a movie called Damnation. It's one of my favorite Resident Evil movies. It's an animated one. A computer animation. It's awesome. So that's where my gamer name comes from. All right. And also Johnny with Bologna&Weiners coding. You're all amazing. I'll see you in the next video. Guys and gals, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you shortly. Let me get a tea and then I'll see you soon. All right. Take care for now.